Hey, it's Tom from Tom's Toons. Today I am going to show you how to install a 4-position battery switch. We can have everything off so that nothing can draw power. We can select from battery 1 or 2, or we can select 1 and 2, which is going to allow me to charge my batteries when the motor is running. Really cool add-on for your boat, and I'm going to show you how to install it. If I had a dime, if I had a penny, for every time I get down off of a boat and back up, I'd be rich. While this is not currently available at pontoonstuff.com, remember, if you're shopping there for pontoon boat accessories, you can use our code at checkout for 5% off your purchase. It's just Tom's Toons, all one word. Put that in the discount code at the end there when you're checking out, and you'll save 5%. This switch is a Blue Sea System switch. It's pretty darn common switch. You're going to see these in marinas, on Amazon, just about everywhere. This is a 4-position switch. We have the off position, which is going to be no power whatsoever can come from the batteries to any accessories. So if you have a problem with a leak down or losing power or having a phantom draw, we call it, your battery's dying, this is going to ensure that doesn't happen. We can turn it to number 1. So that's going to be battery 1. In most cases, that's going to be my starting battery. That's how I always install it. You can do however you want, but that's going to be my starting battery. I'm only going to pull power juice from battery number 1 when I'm on number 1. If I turn it to number 2, I'm only going to pull power from number 2. This typically is going to be my deep cycle or my house battery. You'll hear that. That's going to power all my accessories. If I change it to 1 plus 2, now I'm going to pull power from both batteries. Still a 12-volt system. I'm just going to pull from both batteries or whichever one has more power. If one's dead, I will pull from the one with power. We'll get into that and how this works when we tie everything together. But the big thing with 1 plus 2 is I can push charge into both batteries on 1 plus 2. That's a huge bonus to have on your boat, to be able to get to my boat, start the motor. I'm going to turn it to 1 plus 2. I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to drive across the lake, whether it's a half-hour ride or 3-hour ride, whatever I'm doing. If I have it on 1 plus 2, it's going to pull power from the starting and deep cycle to start the outboard. Great. It's going to charge both batteries. Here's the cool thing. When I get to my destination, maybe I'm just anchoring in the middle of the lake, maybe I'm going to the sandbar, whatever it is, I'm going to turn the engine off. Always turn your motor off before you touch this switch. You don't want power coming in and then trying to change it where it's going. We don't want to do that. So always, always, always motor off, then change your switch setting. So I get to my sandbar, my hangout spot, I'm going to change it to number 2. Battery 2, house battery, deep cycle. I can run that while I'm sitting in the sandbar. I can run my stereo. Maybe I got an amp and subwoofer. Maybe I've got a TV playing. Who knows? Whatever you got going on, I'm going to run that on my deep cycle battery, my house battery. And if you're running 2 deep cycles in parallel, maybe even 3, who knows? That's where you're just running your positives linked together, your negatives linked together. It just makes a longer lasting 12-volt system. I can still wire that positive into here, so I could be running for days on that house battery. It's been 6 hours at the sandbar. I'm sunburnt. It's time to go home. I'm going to change this before I start the motor, because maybe that battery's toast. Maybe it's dead. Turn it to 1 plus 2. Now I can start my motor, because I never touched, being on setting 2, I never touched my starting battery for juice. That's full power. Change it to 1 plus 2. Boom, turn the key. It starts. We're ready to rock and roll. Keep it there, because we don't change it when we are running the motor anyway, but I keep it there. I drive home, that half-hour, 3-hour, whatever it is, I'm going to put some charge. I'm not saying you're going to top the battery off on a 5-minute boat ride with your 25 horse. No, but if you keep it on 1 plus 2 when you're running the motor, it's going to help push charge back into both batteries. If the starting battery is topped off, it's good to go. Battery number 2 is going to get all that juice. That's great. It's going to give that charge to your house battery. That's how this switch works. Let's look at what we need to install it. For installation, I'm going to need a series of wires. So what I've made are these jumper wires, 1, is going to take my power post, my positive post from battery 1 to the switch, which it tells me input 1 on the back of the switch. So I will go positive post to input 1 with one of my jumpers. I call them a jumper. Not a jumper cable, it's just one 4-gauge heavy duty marine grade wire, big lug terminals on the end. The second one is going to go for my house battery, battery number 2, to input 2. So positive battery on one end to post 2 on this end. That's it. My other jumper is a ground, and this is simply going to go between the two batteries to share their grounds. That allows you to pull juice properly, pull power properly when you're running. Also allows you to charge properly when you're running on 1+2. So that is what this jumper's for. It's just going to go straight up between the two batteries. I'll show you when I install it, to connect the ground to run the switch properly. This bottom post is labeled output. I've seen this labeled common, outgoing, output. Everything that you're running, so my engine, battery cables, that's gonna be the first thing I'm gonna put the positive only on this post, on the outgoing or output post. Could be shared, seen it a whole bunch of different ways. I'm gonna put my accessories, my stereo, my lights, those positive only wires that are going to my switch panel, my dash, everything else, they're going to go on here as well. But always start with your motor battery cable first, then stack on your other positive wires. I'll put my nuts on there, so I'll have a battery positive to one post, a battery positive to another post, and then all of my outgoing, so my battery cables for my motor, all those accessory positives on here. We'll tighten everything down super tight. The other thing that I like to do, I just took a piece of marine plastic, I made a little template out of it. This will bolt through, it just gives it a nice backing. This happens to be, you haven't even seen what we're working on yet, but this happens to be going in the back of a barge project we're working on. This is a big aluminum box, you can see the 4 holes. It's gonna bolt up right in here, easy access. Makes things nice and easy. But you could do this with a piece of wood, a vinyled wood. You could put it into a seat. I've seen it right into railings. I just like to have something on the backside to protect all of the posts with that positive and all that power going through. Let's get to setting it up. I like to go ahead and put my jumper wires on first. So I'm going to put on my input 1. It's a big old, this happens to be a 9/16. Keep in mind, these posts on your battery switches, they're heavy duty. I believe it's a 3/8 inch diameter threaded bolt there. So this one gives me spaces for my wires to run. I could chase them all up underneath. I don't need to in this case. I have some room and some freedom there. Not a big deal. But I'm gonna go ahead, we're gonna put them on both of our jumpers here. You'll need a deep well socket typically. This happens to be a 9/16. Those are both ready to go out. And then I need to get all my positive wiring on here as well. Let's look at what's going on this output. Remember, it's going to be positive wires only that are going out to your accessories, your motor, that sort of thing. Always going to start with my battery cables for my outboard first. This is a big 140 horse. Takes a lot of juice to get that baby cranked up. It's an EFI. You got to make sure you got that power run there. Our next thing is going to have the most draw is going to be our accessories, our stereo, some LEDs, spotlights. It's got a 20 amp fuse in there. That's going to go on next. And then this is unique to Suzuki, but anything else that you have going out, whether you have multiple accessory things, maybe you've got a heavy gauge for your stereo, if you have an amplifier, that would go on right after your engine battery cable. But this is just a Suzuki, I don't even know what it is exactly, but it has to be hooked up to a positive post or the switch in order for the motor to start, run, trim and tilt. It's some sort of power cable. Comment if you know what it is. I'll dig into it and find out so that I have a good answer if somebody asks about it. But it's common, I believe, just on the bigger Suzukis. My 200 has it, and then this 140 obviously has it. So that will go on top of my accessory as well. It's a pretty low draw, low power. We'll throw this nut on. So that's all of my accessory stuff. That's my power for my dash. Obviously the power for my motor, the battery cable, and that little extra wire for the outboard. Tighten that on really well. Always, it's a switch. Obviously you don't want to break the post, but it's got to be real snug. Same thing goes for your battery. Tighten it with a wrench. Get rid of the wing nuts, or if you have to have wing nuts, tighten them with a wrench so that they are more than hand tight. This switch is actually ready to go ahead and mount up. You just have to remember input 2, so battery 2, is actually going to be my deep cycle. So the number 1 is here, but the post for number 2 is on the same side. So keep that in mind. As long as you make mental note, you'll be just fine. So I'm ready to go ahead and put this on the back wall. Then I will run my power wires out to the positive posts of my batteries. This is something to note when you're setting your batteries up. I've got trays and straps in here. If you got battery boxes, that's fine. But I'm always, when I run a switch, to reduce the amount of jumper wire I have. This isn't cheap stuff, 4-gauge marine wire. I'm going to put my positives on the same side and my negatives on the same side. That way I can jump my negative ground wire across, and that way I can run shorter leads for my power posts. We're installing the switch with stainless hardware. You could just use a stainless screw. These are 1/4-inch bolts. It'll give it a nice finished clean look. I don't have anything to really screw into without screw heads sticking out. So we're just gonna bolt it in. It'll be permanent mounted. That's the way we want it, so it can't loosen or go anywhere on us. And yes, I've installed switches before where I only get the top 2 bolted in. It's going to be just fine. Just want to make sure it's secure. And once you know, I got to go get a 7/16 wrench to tighten this. If I had a dime, if I had a penny for every time I get down off of a boat and back up, I'd be rich. I got my switch tightened down. I'm going to install that ground jumper cable, jumper wire. So if we pull you a little closer here and look down in, these are my negative posts. I'm just going to go ahead, throw that jumper wire across, and then what I have to do next before I put my nuts on these posts is we connected all of our outgoing or output accessory powers on that bottom post. We still have all these ground wires hanging around. So I need to track down first my engine ground. We're going to put that on top of the jumper. And then I have the option here. I can just stack them all on one ground. It doesn't matter because the 2 are connected. If you have room, go ahead and do that. I just have this accessory and the ignition harness. So if you had a big stereo system, chances are you've got another big ground for your amplifier. We're just going to stack them on the starting battery. It doesn't matter. It's all one ground because we connected our batteries. I'm going to go ahead and tighten down the nut on each of those. Again, use a wrench. You need to make sure that's really snug down. I've got that ground wire run across. Now, all I have to do is hook up my power wires. My switch is in the off position. So the only thing connected to your power wires on the battery are those little jumper wires that are running to the battery switch. Again, we'll tighten that with a wrench. And one more to go. Gonna kind of snake in there on that one. And here's the cool thing is I just finished installing everything on this boat today. So everything on the dash, the motor, we just rigged the last day or 2. So I haven't tried anything yet, and you get to see firsthand. So we're gonna go ahead, I'm just gonna turn that battery switch to position 1 plus 2, and then let's go to our dash. So our key, we've got 12 plus volts on our voltage gauge. Trim and tilt works. We've got side mounted LEDs and a top mounted stern light. We've got our headlights out front. We've got LEDs right on top of here. Big spotlights again. Everything works. All of our switches work. No fuses popped. I think we're in good shape. You can always test it too. If I turn it to the off position, nothing. Nothing. Whole bunch of nothing. That is that battery switch install. Thank you for watching. Please like this video, subscribe, comment. Let me know if you learned something from watching this. Let me know if you're going to install something similar to this on your boat. A lot of these 4-position switches install the same, so even if you don't get this exact switch, you're still going to get the benefits of a 4-position switch. Thanks for watching.